Alrighty. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Steve, K5ATA, and it's good to have you here tonight. I got my obligatory cup of Joe, so we are ready to go. And let's get this show on the road. Today we're talking about... Oh, I got to change the picture for us here because we are still going buffet style. So... the ham radio buffet. Today we're talking specifically about those items to go. Ape's good with those. But first I want to go ahead and touch on a couple things. One, if you would do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe. I appreciate it. It does help the channel out. If you would also check down below, we have an Amazon affiliate link. We do make a wee little bit of money out of that. Not much, but enough to help support the channel and support the school club. And also there's a Patreon link below if you feel so inclined as to help support our radio club at school as well. We would greatly appreciate it. Field day. It's coming. It's what do we got? 10 days, I think, until field day. Unfortunately, I will be on the road for field day, but I'm taking my radio with me. Ishmael, hey, how you doing, bud? Going down to see my mom down in the New Orleans area. And so I'm going to go ahead and drag my POTA setup down there and at least get on the air a little bit and see if we can't make a few contacts, stuff like that. So, same thing to you, no matter what the situation is with y'all's field day. I know, in fact, right now our local club is meeting on Zoom about whether we're going to be able to have a real field day at the fire department where we normally have it, or whether we're going to do it remotely and do the little everybody puts in their club call sign at the submission portal. I don't know. I guess I'll find out in the email later because I'm here with y'all. I'm getting my IC 735 in 2 months' time. Good deal, Ishmael. Sounds like you've got a pretty decent setup going, man. But whatever situation you fall into for field day, get on the air, and if you have the opportunity to share that with somebody, share with them. Which is kind of part of one of the perks for ham radio to go. It's one of those things that I want to touch on also. One more thing, merchandise. If you're interested in any of the YouTubers Bunch merchandise, you can. There's going to be a link down below. I think it's there right now. If not, if one of y'all would drop the link, it's grapevineamateurradio.com, and head over there and you can check out some of that merch. Got shirts, and there's some beer glasses and coffee cups need to come that way, just saying. Stuff like that. So y'all head over there, check that out. And there you go. Thanks, Tio. Appreciate that. I'll take that opportunity to get the lifeblood. Running a little ragged today. Just got home from activating K2941. That's David Crockett State Park in Tennessee, where the child unit and I went and spent about 3 days off and on doing POTA stuff. Racked up a little bit over 300 contacts in there. I'm pretty sure I came out on top this time. So, no bragging, no flexing or anything, but boom, there it is, child unit. So, but anyhow, had a good time, which is kind of why I wanted to veer off into the take that order to go kind of thing. So, I'm going to do things a little bit differently tonight. What I'm going to do is, let me see if I can switch that for you here. First of all, let me shrink me, because, whoops, that's not me. That's the buffet. Never shrink the buffet. Alright, let's see if I can slide myself down here. Alright, let me check on the chat here for a second here. What have we got? We got, yeah, Tio, you got to get your shirts up there. Ishmael, I thought you already had a VHF UHF. I seem to remember you asking about how to do crossband repeat or something on a Kenwood. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I'm going to, LFC is going to tattle to HTA. HTA already knows, Tio. So, she knows. I'll just kind of let you in on a little not so secret, because everything on YouTube stays on YouTube. I kind of snuck out for a late shift after she went to bed, and I racked up like 100 and something during that late shift. So I was not going to be defeated another time. So, I mean, well, last time she only beat me by 1, but 2 times ago, dude, she like destroyed me. So I couldn't have let it happen again. I kept getting emails and comments and stuff from, like Oof and all them, like just blatantly laughing at me. Ha ha ha! She destroyed you. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do something about that. All right, so stuff I'm gonna do a little bit differently. I'm gonna show you. Let me turn our buffet off. Yep, you're looking at a blank screen. That's a Google Doc, and what I'm gonna do is I kind of like to keep things interactive as much as possible in the live stream. So as we get and generate some ideas, I'm going to try to throw them onto this Google Doc. For those of you who aren't watching it live and like you catch it later, shoot me an email with your call sign and contact information. And if you got something you want to add onto the doc, then I can get you access to it. And I'm going to post the link to this for folks to view down in the description below. But what I want to do is I kind of want to build almost just like a YouTube users repository or like list for just different stuff you can do going portable. I mean, obviously there's the obvious ones we're going to talk about today, but there are so many caveats to each one of them. So we're just going to kind of do it that way. I'm going to slide that off the screen though, so I can, helps if I slide the right window, so that I can type that. Let me shut down that window and pull that up over here. All right. So let's see where to start. Talking about taking radio to go. So like in the thumbnail, it can fit inside a clamshell, and it can for some folks. One of the obvious ways to take ham radio portable is going QRP. It's easy. 9-volt battery, a little transmitter, and especially if you have one of those cool little is it quirky QRP that has a little thumb finger CW things that we saw, and I think it was on Josh's stream. Somebody during the YouTube Ham Fest. There's so much good stuff there. I forgot who had them. Maybe it was Jason. I don't remember, but that cool little finger thing. You can go portable that way. I mean, you can be sitting there having a Big Mac at McDonald's, although probably eating outside because most of those aren't open inside, as we learned today. Thank you, Tio, quirky QRP. And you can go portable just, walking down the street or whatever. But what I'm talking about is a little bit more of what Jarek and I were doing this weekend, or this week, I guess. We got there Sunday, and we didn't pod on Sunday. We hiked and went and saw some cool owls and learned about snakes and stuff like that. But anyhow, so first one I want to talk about is POTA, or Parks on the Air. And I'm going to bring up, let's see which window capture that is. Boom. Oh. Yeah, that's not. Alright, so Parks on the Air. If you want to get started in Parks on the Air, it's really, really complicated. Okay, what you do is you go to parksontheair.com. Philip, appreciate it. Great caliber. Because, yeah, we know. Although, like I said, all mine have an R after him because I shoot that Mosin Nagant for my 7.62, but gotta love it. But Parks on the Air. Parks on the Air is probably one of the easiest ways to go portable doing ham radio. Basically, go to parksontheair.com, sign up. You have access to 5.7 is greater than 7.62. It's that new math, Tio. It's that 2 math. Jim, thank you, my man. It's that 7,300 fund is slowly climbing, and I appreciate it. Tio helped me out a good bit last week, and Jim and Philip, I appreciate that. So, y'all, the kids are gonna love that. So, anyway, you kind of made me lose my train of thought there, Jim. What was I saying there? Okay, Parks on the Air. So, what you do is you sign up, and you can see on the website here, it's all the little activations and top activators, and it's not a quote unquote contest per se. Jay Malo, I hit refresh, but as far as I know, everybody else has got video, so sometimes YouTube just kind of has gas and it needs to get a little refresh. So, but you can sign up. It's free to do. It's more like a, well, Jarek and I have kind of made it into a competition, and they kind of build it like a competition in that, they rank you by activations and contacts and stuff like that. And you can go look at the leaderboards for activators, and it'll load all those, and you'll see there's the official measurement for what we have here is a buttload. You can see, like, I have 10 activations at 5 parks, 379 contacts. That number is going to jump significantly today, or maybe tomorrow when I get done uploading those, which we'll talk about logging and stuff, not whatnot on this. But Parks on the Air is a great way to get started. And a lot of folks think that Parks on the Air, what you have to do is, you've got to have all this expensive equipment to go and activate it. But if you've got an HF radio, and I guess technically you could do it with a VHF radio, but probably kind of difficult to get your 10. But if you've got an HF radio and pretty much any antenna that you can throw in a tree, excuse me, you can do Parks on the Air. Uh-oh, there's the 6 gold medals. So, in fact, we started out, and we actually were taking the power supply, and I still take the power supply. We do a lot of our Parks on the Air from our travel trailer, our camper, and I take the power supply because I plug it right in there, and then I don't worry about batteries. But every now and then, Jarek and I do like to go, to a park and chill by the lake or something, and we're not camping there. So, you have a couple choices. I have been known to lug the deep cycle battery out of my camper, which, that's what, 50, 60 pounds, something like that. By the time we're at the bottom of the hill, it feels about 150. But we're going to talk about some options there. Uh-oh, have 2 right here. So, but as far as getting started with that, it's, like I said, it's a piece of cake. You can go hit find parks near me. And let's see if it wants to put me where I really am. Or sometimes it throws me like out in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, it did again. So apparently it thinks I'm over there near Africa. And then you can zoom in. There's my casa right here. Right about there. And you can see I've got these parks here. And you can click on them, get the park number. Hey, that one, I don't recognize that number. I got that one. I think this is that may be that new one we drove up and looked at. This is the one that is our typical go-to park, just because it's literally, 5 minutes from the house. It's like 2.8 miles, so, but you have to follow the road the cows walked. But find a park near you and throw an antenna up and get out there. Hey, old preach, good to see you, man. It's not hard to do. Now, if you're worried about antennas and stuff, excuse me. If you're worried about antennas and stuff, we just use, I call it the Batwing Dipole. I won't tell you what Abe calls it, but basically it's a dipole that I made using I think I still have another one somewhere, one of those thin little cooking cutting boards from Walmart for like 97 cents as the center insulator. Run the 2 ends of wire out, straight to the coax, straight to the radio, bada bing, bada boom, do the fandango, and we're in business. But if you don't have one built, or you don't want to build one, you want one that's commercially made, that's significantly smaller than the antenna that I'm packing, go check out Pac-Tenna. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you now, I'm not sponsored by Pac-Tenna or anything. I've seen their stuff, and he's got some good stuff. So go check out Pac-Tenna. These dudes are literally like, well, you can kind of sort of see it, about the size of that thing, that little mailing envelope. And take it out there. He's got like link dipoles, and you can throw up and be on the air, not have to worry about toting a bunch of weight or anything. And that's great for, we're going to talk in a little while about the other ODA, which is soda, but that works for both of them. So let's see. If you are wanting to take something a little bit lighter than your RV battery, no big deal. Go check out, like I said, I'm not sponsored by any of these folks or anything. It's just, they make good stuff, so I kind of throw them out there for you. Bio Power. Um, yeah, K at MRD loves his Pac-10, and he loves his Bio stuff too. In fact, if you look back at the Pac-10 page, yeah, boom. Everybody go hit that when you're done with this stream so you can watch Mike's review on the Pac-10 link dipole. So, but go back to where I was. Bio Power, same sort of thing. It's just, batteries. Yeah, and you have to make sure you put bioennopower.com. Don't put, bioenno. It leads to, I don't know, some biological, I don't even remember anymore. Are most of the state parks, or do most of the city parks and town parks aren't listed on the Parks on the Air site, but yeah, you can submit a park. And here's the thing: even if it doesn't count for a Parks on the Air park, and that's, I kind of had that slated for the end of the Sermon on the Mount here, but who cares? I mean, Parks on the Air is a great way to, kind of encourage people to get on the air, and it does give you a platform to kind of throw a spot out there so people can find you and work in. A lot of people, I mean, goodness, when I hit that late shift the other night, it was, I don't know, about 8 o'clock p.m. And all of a sudden, I had just a huge pile up because I threw a spot out there. But, my thing is, if you want to go hang out in a city park and throw a wire up and get on the air, call CQ enough, somebody's going to find you, and then they'll start spotting you through the normal ways. But, hey, Mike, good to see you, man. Just talking about you, so your ears must have been burning. Yeah, Jarek and I both got a contact with Mike this week. I keep saying weekend, but we got there Sunday. So, yeah, somebody said Podin. Mike's like, Shaggy? He had to show up. But, so, Bioenno, it's definitely a much lighter battery to tote around than my RV battery. Certainly easier than, having to rely on commercial power, or as my folks across the pond say, mains power, I think is what they call it over there. But that's an option also. If you're into something that, and Mike's got a great review on one of these dudes too. Okay. The DX Commander. I don't have the little Josh thing that makes it go DX Commander. But you know what I'm saying here, okay? These antennas, I mean, it's just, I don't know how else to put it other than wow. It does take a little more setup time than throwing up a little dipole or a Pac-10, but, you're good for multi-band 80 to 6 meters, and Mike in here actually knows more about this than I do. If I'm not mistaken, you don't need a tuner for this thing. You throw that thing up or set it up, and you're good to go. And in fact, at some point, I'll throw if I can get my sides right up here somewhere, I'll throw a link to Mike's review that he did on the DX Commander, with when he worked his first POTA. As far as I know, it was his first POTA with it. I mean, it was just nonstop, just contact. So that's another option, and it's not as ridiculously as expensive as you would think. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be $1,000 antenna, and my wife's in the other room, so we won't tell her. But it's not that bad. If I remember, they're like 200 pounds or whatever that translates to, and 219 pounds. So somebody do the math. What does that translate to in American dollars? Like 240, 250, something like that. So, and Callum obviously stands behind his product too. So, if that's your thing and you're just gonna do POTA, is 219 350 really? Okay, so, but even then, it's worth every penny of it because, just the build quality of this thing, and it's just amazing. Yep, there it is. If I could read, I'd be as a teacher too. 6 bands, no tuner, quarter wave, and handles 2,000 watts. Not that any of us are going to throw 2,000 watts through it, but it handles 2,000 watts. So that's kind of one of those other choices. So other ways you can go portable, or take that ham radio buffet to go. Ham radio buffet to go. Okay, let me switch. And like I said, guys, if y'all have any ideas on other ways to keep or to throw into that Google Doc, throw them at me, and even if I don't get them live right now, I'll get them when I scroll back through it later. Mike, let's see. Let me check up on the chat, see what I've missed so far. Watching from the couch. So I've yet to be on the couch today. A lot of time in the truck. Do the math, son. Yeah, do the maths. Got to say the maths and the mains power and stuff like that. I don't understand why they add that S sometimes. Maybe Callum pop in and we can find out. So 274.88. Thank you, Philip. Boom. Oh, should we argue? We're off by a penny. Who's gonna win? Somebody rounded, somebody truncated, or something. All right. So the other one, and this is one that I truly don't know a whole bunch about because I live. Hang on, I need some. All right, go for it. I'm on a good, clean fight. Nothing below the belt. Stay away from the knees because they hurt. Okay, is summits on the air. Now, I live in Mississippi. We have one summit. I forget how tall it says it is. It's something like 87 feet or something ridiculous. I mean, it's. I'm not sure how they call it a summit. I think it's just like some hill down on some guy's land, and somehow or another they got it labeled as a summit. But either way, I'm going to go out to that summit one of these days, and I'm going to activate that summit because it's my only choice here. But this is another one. It's kind of like, I guess it's parks on the air for people who want to make their own park. You just, go climb a mountain and boom. I guess you have to get all the way to the top, and I think you have to. There's some funky rules to it. Like you can drive most of the way, and then you have to hike in a certain. I don't remember how far it is and whatnot. But you're right, Val. So, but summit's on the air. Hey, Greg, glad you made it. Better late than never, bro. Prices don't end in 88. Yep, we have the flatlands here. Although I just left the kind of not so flatlands up towards Nashville. Had I gone a little farther east, it definitely wouldn't have been so flat. But I guess part of the point of making you hike in the last bit is it discourages you, or it kind of creates a challenge, I guess, for you to, if you've got to lug it in, you think more than once about what you're going to carry. It's just like these people that say before you start taking a long hike or something like that, you might want to walk around with your pack for a while first. Same thing here, Targetto. But if you're going to go do summits on the air, you might want to try walking up a hill or two with all the gear you're going to take with you. That's when it definitely pays to have those lightweight batteries like that Bioenno battery or whatever, as opposed to me lugging my 50, 60, 70 pound RV battery, because, ounces turn into pounds pretty quick. And, remember that, 8 ounces turn into pounds. 6 gold medals, buddy. So, of course, I have no room to talk. But anyhow, that's another one. Now, they actually go, let me see if I can find where that was, because I kind of laughed out loud when I saw this. Let's see, you hit getting started. Is it intro to activating? Somewhere in here it kind of says, here it is. I'll highlight it for the boom. Remember, you're responsible for your own well-being, so whether you're thinking big or merely venturing a short distance from the vehicle, further research into mountain safety is strongly recommended. This is kind of the polite way of saying, if you get dead, it's on you. I'm just saying. Okay, I hadn't heard about a whole lot of people getting dead falling down a park, but people fall down mountains. So keep that in mind. Black coffee does turn into water. I get 2 cups on a. How in the world do you get 2 cups on a single K cup? That's gotta be water, Philip. I go through like massive amounts of coffee, and in fact, I should go ahead and break the news now. We had a death. I'm sitting here saying people don't die on Parks on the Air, but we did have a death in this Parks on the Air. My coffee pot Fortunately, it made it till this morning after I made the pot of coffee, and one of those little parts inside that, it's a Mr. Coffee, and it's got all this plastic junk inside, and it broke. So, I had a brief service for it at the dumpster, and now I've got to go to. We don't have a Targetto in our town, so I've got to go to Wally World and pick up another one. So, but Philip, I'm not sure how it is. It's sad. Okay, but how do you get a second one, Philip? I mean, that's like simply un-American. I mean, you've got to be able to see through it. That's kind of my rule of thumb. If you can see through it, if it's in a clear glass, it's not coffee. It's just dirty water. So, soda is a little better for me. I have a lot more summits around than parks. And that's kind of the case. A lot of times, like I used to live in Southern California, and I know that there are tons of parks out there, but there are also tons of summits out there. And in Southern California, you can drive from the park at the beach and up to the summit, within hours of each other, and get that or activate them both. But yeah, and that's kind of what you need to do. You need to stop and think, what's most available around you. But like Tio said earlier, even if there's a park you want to activate that may not be a park, submit it. That cup committed suicide. That pot, no. Well, it had lived a long, hard life. Well, a short, hard life. I put a lot of pots of coffee through my coffee pots. So, Boda. Is that literally just a boat? No, it can't be. Oh, you're going to have to translate that one for me, Tio. But, anyhow. So yeah, Summits on the Air has got some other options. And, obviously we have Field Day coming up. Field Day is coming 10 days from now. That's another opportunity to get out there and. All right, Tio, wouldn't that be Boat-Oda then? Because it's boat on the air, so you have to go Boat-Oda. Just because it sounds cool. It's kind of something being potable. Boat-Oda. Boat-Oda. Kind of rap that. See if we can make a song for it. Anyhow, but that's another option. In fact, I have a canoe, and if I ever get the guts to take a radio out on the canoe, I actually want to go canoe mobile sometime just to be able to do it. But I'm so scared that I'm going to, flip it over. I've never flipped it yet, but it'd be my luck. That would be the time I flip it over and, sizzle, sizzle, pop, pop. I let all the smoke out. And then I'm never going to live to hear the end of it, so I'd have to cover it up from y'all so y'all didn't hear it or see it and anything, and it just gets ugly. Then I start living Moda Boda. That's what it is. It can almost sound like that. Oh, what's that? I like to Bododa, but nah, it doesn't work. All right, so Summits on the Air. That's another option for you. Field Day's coming. Just go outside and get on the air somewhere. Part of the advantage of doing this stuff is people walk by, people look every now and then, people walks up, Batwing submersible. People walk up and ask questions, and it may not happen a lot, but it's a great opportunity for folks to, kind of preach the word, amen, hallelujah, about ham radio, Soda goes. Get out there and throw it up, and don't hide somewhere. I mean, stick it right there on the table in the middle of the park. And when folks walk up and ask questions, just tell them, hey, this is what we're doing, and let them get on the air. I had one kid this time that he walked by about 4 times, and he kept looking and looking and looking, but he was too far away to really, say anything to. But I kept hoping that, he and his dad would kind of walk over, and I'd be able to throw him on the air. Because as soon as you get a kid on the air anyway, folks start popping up, and I know I could get on there real quick and throw another spot out saying, hey, we turned our POTA into a Yoda, and so go from there. Hey Clark, good to see you, man. So tell you what, Tio, you go ahead and take the Batwing submersible and let Leah stand on the shore and film how that goes when you try to talk. I'm curious. We'll see how that works out for you. All right. So suggestions about different things that you can do. I know I've got K and MRD in the house and whatnot. Different ways folks can get started with either POTA or soda, or just going outside and playing. So welcome back, Ishmael. Call me Ishmael. Oh, I meant to show you. If you go to the POTA site, POTA.us, that's another thing. Maybe you can't get out to a park right now, or can't get out to a summit right now because, well, let's use Mike as an example. He lives in Michigan, and, the weather kind of sucks up there a lot. Didn't y'all have snow like last week or something like that? And, if the weather doesn't really work, then be a chaser. You go give those people who are activating parks, give them some contacts. You can go to POTA.us, and you can see that guy. I worked that guy yesterday. But you can see all the different parks that are active. Let's see where we've got. It's in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Indiana, and Wisconsin. Hey, that's just up the road from you. He's in Wisconsin. And then here's today's activations. There's Jerica and I. We're still showing there because I just did it for like 3 days saying we're going to be off and on. Is it seriously going to snow tomorrow? Or are you lying? But, that's all the different activations here. And so you just kind of check that site every now and then and, throw it out there. I haven't even unpacked the radio yet from getting back. Otherwise, I'd throw it out there. NWFF. I've read about that. Isn't that mostly like a European thing, Tio, if I remember right? Hang on. I'm going to have to throw that in my Google Doc. I got to go to the Google Doc. All right. NWFF. National or nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. And yeah, Maritime Mobile would be fun. Like I said, I want to go canoe mobile, but I don't think in reality I'm ever going to. I'm going to probably be too scared. But get a boat, go out there. Yeah, I think it's worldwide now, but I think it's bigger over there than it is over here. 96, Philip, where are you? That it's going to hit 96 tomorrow. A big CW thing. And that's the other thing is, pick up, even if, I don't know, look at this. Stream brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Yeah, sponsor me, Nationwide. Actually don't, because I'm not insured with you. But, use this opportunity to play with some other stuff and learn how to do things. You can go QRP and voice or on sideband and still make contacts. I had, I think, 3 folks that I worked over the last few days. 3 folks that were QRP and they were voice. So, and 2 of them had really good signals. One was in Missouri, which I know that's not terribly far from. We were about an hour south of Nashville for this park, and then the other one, I don't remember, Montana maybe. I don't remember. It was far enough away that I was like, "Sorry?" I was like, that's pretty impressive. But try doing it QRP. That's a good thing. It's definitely more challenging. In fact, yesterday, Jerica actually started calling her CQ at 5 watts and didn't realize it, was wondering why, goodness gracious, I'm calling a bunch. And, I threw her spot out there. And it's because I had turned the radio down to 5 watts when I was janking with the MFJ manual screwdriver antenna. And I was like, oops, might help if I give you a little more power. So Cal used to have a ham shack on his longboat. See, that's what I want to do. I don't know, I guess some people want to take cruises and go see stuff, and I'd be content to take an Alaska cruise as long as they give me a room up at the top so that I can like hang a wire out of it and talk on the radio. But that'd be cool, because then I could be like, talking on the radio up there near Russia and stuff. Have a grand old time. Yeah, and Fox, since you can do that, that's another outside thing that obviously requires portable. We've kind of focused on the HF side of things. But yeah, you can actually go portable. That's going portable. Just walking around town using a repeater is still going portable. You took it to go. But Fox Hunts is another fun way. And a lot of people, just build their own antennas. They build a little tape measure Yagi, or I've actually got one that I'm going to hang on, Bill, I'll get that in a second. That I'm gonna do a video on, but it's it's way smaller and much more portable than a tape measure Yagi. So I just have to get the time to do it. All right, Bill. So you just registered on POTA. Am I going to take any of my school kids on these? All right. So those of you who don't know, yeah, I teach middle school, and we had 25 kids get their license this year. Well, I guess last year now. We're officially in summer. My plan was, before we got Corona out of school, to kind of have them. The rules are kind of flaky. I guess I could have loaded up my school bus and taken them out there on a school function or something like that. But what my plan was just to kind of say, well, I'm going to the park and I'm going to activate this thing and try to do ham radio outside and get the kids to go. I already know there were several kids that were going to go. We were actually going to do it the very first time on the 50-yard line of our football field, just because I just thought that would be awesome, and then I could start tweeting out pictures of us doing ham radio on the 50 with the big old Lafayette Commodores back there and be like flexing on people. But we got we got human malware virused out, and so that didn't happen. So my next plan was that's okay. There's always field day. Well, I'm not sure it's a grand idea to go dragging in 25 kids, 50 kids, however many kids show up into a group of ham radio operators that some of us are more along in years than others and more susceptible to catching things, and some things just aren't worth that risk. So yeah, Bill, my plan is to do some POTA stuff with them. It's just right now everything's on the back burner. I do get to teach an online licensing class through the university here. I guess that starts in 3 weeks, and hopefully by then I'll be able to take those kids out. I don't even know who those kids are yet. I just know they're all going to be middle school and some high school kids, and I'll get to take them out and maybe meet in a park somewhere and let them get on the radio, because we're having to do it all on way less hair, Tio. We're having to do that entire course on Zoom, which, okay, for grown folks, we can watch some Zoom and kind of figure things out. With kids, I mean, part of the draw, and well, it's part of the expense, is getting that stuff for them to do hands-on stuff and whatnot. So it'll be a little more challenging doing it on Zoom, but I didn't know you were teaching on. Yep, I'm teaching on the line, bro. This summer in July. I have no idea how many kids I have yet. I just got an email said, hey, your other little robot camps and STEM camps can't make because, well, we can't get together. Do you have any other ideas? And this lady had been following my Twitter and saw that had these kids get licensed and whatnot. So she's like, how about ham radio? And I was like, what a great idea. So that's kind of where we're running with that. And it'll be fun. I mean, it'll be fun. It'll just be different. And it's kind of like ham radio itself. Ham radio, you always have to kind of stretch yourself and change and adapt. So we're going to stretch ourselves, change and adapt, and see if I can figure out how to get them to build stuff through Zoom. And hopefully some of the restrictions kind of slack up by then and we can get together and play. If nothing else, maybe, well, I know I can do some radio here, but it's just not the same thing when they're not on the mic. Also with fox hunting. In fact, when I first learned to fox hunt, I didn't even have a beam antenna. Dude, I don't even remember the guy's name. Danny Cromaz, I think. He's a silent key now, but he said, don't worry about it. Just, hold the radio up to your chest. Let me see if I can get back. Hold the radio up to your chest and just kind of flex your shoulders around it and turn. Sorry about that. I kept hitting the microphone with the antenna. And your body's an insulator, so it gives you a general direction of which way to go. I mean, just the teachable stuff you can do with that is cool. It's like, yeah, well, the human body's a great insulator. Zoom with audio turned off using 2 meters instead. Yeah, except the problem is they don't have radios and stuff yet. Like I said, I assume they don't. I mean, I don't even know who they are. So, these are brand new kids that are going to get licensed. So that would be great, honestly. Yeah, if I could have Zoom turn off the audio, make everybody talk on the radio, that would be cool, but I don't think that would work this time. All right, the first one passes tech, taking him to field day to get him on the air. Did you land to say, all right, Padawa? I don't remember if you said the T-O is two or toe. I think you said toe, so Potawatomi, I think is what you said. Am I right, Bill? Potawatomi? How many fangs do you need? I don't know how many kids I've got yet. I've got, well, actually, all my fangs are checked out right now, but I have the ability to get my hands on about 5 of them, I think I have, and then I've got some other ones like, this Radiodity I can send out. I've got that. Oh, I was right. So did I say that right, Bill? Potawatomi? Potawatomi. Hey, Roger. Good to see you, man. I always know when Roger shows up because he throws out the thumbs up and the cool smileys. So, but, yeah, I don't have... I'm anticipating at least 10. I don't think they would have let the class make if it were under 10, just because I may be wrong. I don't know. But anyhow, any other suggestions on how folks can get on the air with POTA and SOTA, or just getting out and other stuff you can do outside with portable radio? Like I said, obviously, like my kids now, they go portable every day. A couple of them that have their own radios, they Potawatomi. Okay, so they're portable every day. They keep it in their backpack, and one of them's got the big old Nagoya 771, so he's got it hanging out of the backpack. And they walk around, and it's kind of cool. They want to call each other. They'll call each other on that instead of texting each other in the hallways, which is kind of cool and stuff like that. But Potawatomi. See, I'm one of those people that I've got to be able to pronounce it correctly, so I'm going to go to bed tonight trying to figure this out. Potawatomi. Is that right? All right, so let's see. Talked about, did I miss any of my links up here? Oh, the Maritime Mobile thing, yeah. Was it Jim that said we had to make sure we had permission from, I guess, the ship's captain or whatever? Yeah, got to ask permission before operating on a cruise ship. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's another thing I would like to be able to do is, in fact, Bob, K6UDA, did it recently. Operate from an airplane. I mean, he did it. I think he knew a guy, if I remember right, or something, and he was up in an airplane and was able to talk. And I worked a guy once that was, I guess it's aviation mobile, or however you, aero mobile, however you want to say it. But that would be awesome. What's up, WJ6F? You're close. If I hear you on the air, I'll pronounce it. So yeah, we'll try to get on the air sometime and make a skit. Like I said, I've got to unpack my radios and stuff from. Just got back in, so everything's still packed up in that big old huge backpack. But let's see, what else did I miss? Scroll back. Personal SOTA goats. I got to look up the SOTA goats. I'm all the way back up there now. So, well, yeah, I assume I'd have to have permission on a plane. I mean, Lord, they get mad if you, have your cell phone on a plane. So, obviously, I'd want to make sure I have permission there. But you can get a ride in a Cessna for under $100. Ooh, okay. There we go. Hey, honey. I want to take a plane ride. If she's watching, I'll hear it in about 30 seconds. If you know a private pilot. Well, actually, I do know a guy that had a plane. And note, I said had a plane because he apparently rented it to some guy, and he flew it to California. And I'm not sure how it happened, but somehow or another his engine blew up or something, and now he no longer has a plane. The guy landed and somehow it magically disappeared. So I can no longer get on Mark's plane. That was my plan, but hindsight being what it is, if his engine blew up flying up there, probably a good thing I wasn't in an airplane. Aota. Airplanes on the air. There you go. Aota. Hey, bud. Good to see you, man. WQ1L. Good to see you, man. But no goats, no glory. Yep, goats are cool because, you know, they clean fields and they eat tin cans and stuff like that, whatnot. But yeah, that's like the ultimate antenna. I'm flying at 10,000 feet, so you can work it for a while there. All right. Anybody else got anything else that you think would be great to get folks? Oh, she's snitching on me right now, Tio. She won't let me get in a plane, I know. So yeah, if she snitches on me, then it's not going to happen because, you know, my brother actually, when he was in the Army, he used to jump out of perfectly good airplanes with semi-perfectly good parachutes, and one of them didn't quite open right or something. He was hanging in the tree for a couple days, and it was kind of funky. So I don't think my chances of getting on a little plane are too good with her. Know anybody with like a old, you know, DC-10 or whatever those are? Maybe I can convince her one of those. I know some guys down in South America that probably have some, but that would be cool. Put a radio on a bike. In fact, Bob, K6UDA, I was watching what video of his the other day. I think it was a D-Star video maybe or something. And he was talking. Well, I mean, obviously he was YouTubing or recording audio on his motorcycle, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I wonder if he's got a radio on that bike. So that would be cool. I mean, obviously it would have to be, you know, in a helmet and whatnot. I wouldn't think that I guess I would think it would be hard to hear transmissions while, you know, your Harley's roaring and the wind's going and stuff like that. But that would be cool. Of course, I say that, and then you see all these people with their little helmets with the little dealy boppers, microphone booms. My Electra has enough room for HF. What's an Electra? Not even sure what that is. I'm not a big bike guy. I grew up, my dad was a Navy man, and he was like, you know, you're not going to have a motorcycle as long as you live in my house kind of thing. And, well, college was expensive, so I lived there for a while. So, you know, I think I've ridden a motorcycle maybe twice, and I didn't crash it either time, so that was a good thing. So, but yeah, Bluetooth in the helmets would obviously, you know, I remember back in the old days when I used to look at those Gold Wings thinking those are the best looking things in sliced bread. You had to like plug the cord into the thing and whatnot, but an electric blender. Oh, okay. Well, you know, T.O., did you buy that one? T.O., if you didn't know, he's got like 87 businesses or something. Well, he's doing, is it just used cars right now, T.O.? Because, you know, every time you turn around, he's like swapping vehicles. Hang on, I need to open the reserve thermos. I only had one pot of coffee today because of the death in the family. So I got to break out the other one. Well, she just came in. I think she's telling me I can't get on a little airplane. So, alrighty. So, let's see. Let me look at our Google Doc that I was keeping up here to see what we're going to go with. I'm going to have to look up the nationwide flora and fauna. Obviously, I like the Maritime Mobile. We said AOTA for airplanes on the air. And Boat Oda. Not Boda, but Boat-Oda. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see, what else did we have in here? Oh, fox hunting. So, all the businesses. Yep. So, you ever need a used car? Go see T.O. I don't know if he delivers or not. I guess for the right price he'll deliver. But if you're in the Wisconsin area, there you go. I did get several Wisconsin stations and Michigan stations this week on Parks on the Air. There's a ton of y'all out there. So, and both Jerica and I got Kate MRD Mike, and we got, well, my daughter got Leah T.O., but Leah wasn't cool enough to come try to get me. I appreciate that. And we both got AA0Z, got Kyle. I'm trying to think, did we get any other YouTubers? I don't know if we did or not. Keep waiting for the ape to pop out, but you know how that works. You would actually have to like throw his call sign out, and that doesn't happen. Got 2 more cars on order. What'd you order? Bodie McBoatface on the air. Marty McFly. Bodie McBoatface. Yeah, I think I do want to do I just got to find some kind of way to keep a radio on a canoe. I guess I could stick the radio itself inside of something that's pretty much waterproof, and that way if I tip the canoe, I can get it up before, I'd put it on like little pool floats or something, because I gotta go. How would I say that? Canoe on the air? Coda, something like that. But yeah, if you have not taken ham radio portable, you definitely got to do it. Like we said, you can POTA, you can SOTA, you can AOTA, you can BOTOTA. Just walk around and talk on it with the handy talkie, whatever. But get outside. I mean, I always look at it from the standpoint of how can I interest other people in a hobby, and how can I teach other people about the hobby. And well, if other people never see it, then it's just nobody's gonna know about it. So, get out there and do it. I mean, set that big old DX Commander antenna up. Okay, so it takes you a few minutes. Mike, how long did it take you to set up that DX Commander? I forget when you activated. But set that thing up, because I promise you, people walking through a park, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what's that?" And somebody's gonna get the guts to come over and say, "Dude, what is that?" And then all of a sudden, you've got other folks there, and if you get some teenagers or whatever, or even elementary age kids interested, and they're like, "Hey, can I talk on the radio?" Let them talk, because you never know. One or two of them might go and get their license later, and it just kind of like, goes from there, and all of a sudden everybody just starts kind of spreading it, and then the hobby doesn't stay stagnant. So 15 minutes. So, see, I was thinking for some reason 12 was in my head, but that's just because I really like the number 12. But, so it takes 15 minutes. Okay, I think I set up my dipole, maybe it took 6 minutes, something like that, and that's only because it took me a couple throws to get it over the limb I wanted. But, so, for roughly twice the amount of time it took me to set my dipole up, you can have the DX Commander going. And, okay, I was pretty much stuck on 40. The DX Commander, you're pretty much stuck on, all of them. So, that's worth it right there. And yeah, Mike is expert level though, but Mike was not always expert level. Mike started out somewhere, and so everybody starts out somewhere, and that's the important thing to remind kids, and well, grown-ups too, when they're starting out. It's going to take a little longer the first couple times you do it. Those little FM transceiver kit or receiver kits that I bought for the kids, I purposely double bought, because I knew that at least half of them, they're going to screw something up because they're not expert level. So, that's just kind of what you're working towards. So if it takes you 30 or 40 minutes the first time, the next time takes you 20 or 30 minutes. The next time, you cut your setup time down as you go. And that's kind of the important thing to remember. So, like I was saying, everybody just take that chance, get out there on the air. Field day is 10 days away for some of you. If you're watching from east of me a bit, then it's 9 days away for you, depending how far you go. So get out there, get on the air, even if you're that one is the loneliest number kind of guy in the park. Go outside and set it up, and somebody may come by and ask you about it, and if not, you're outside in a park playing radio. I mean, it can't be anywhere. I mean, it's got to be good doing that. You can't really complain about it. We spent 3 days doing it, and 2 days. Like I said, I didn't really POTA. I did do it this morning though. We had to get some last minute contacts today, so we had 3 days of doing POTA, and came home, and on the drive home I was already thinking, okay, well, you know what? I wonder if there's a park in Kentucky we can get to pretty quick and activate a park there, because it's kind of like an addiction. It's it's the new crack. You just get out there and do it. Next thing you know, it's like, okay, I want to do this one. I want to do this one, and activate. And get other people interested in it, and they start getting that same kind of desire to do it, and then the hobby continues to grow and doesn't get stale and stagnant and whatnot. But that's it, y'all. Unless anybody has any last minute suggestions for stuff to throw out to put in the Google Doc, if there is anybody who has any ideas for different stuff you want to put on that Google Doc, and I'll kind of flesh that out, and I'll put a link in it below. Shoot me an email, goodgamehamradio@gmail.com, and I will either get you access to it or put it in there. Later, WJ6F. You know, I've learned that fighting teenagers, sometimes it's better just to let them fight, and, you know, king of the jungle kind of thing. But that's just me. But we'll get it in there. Yep, that's it. So maybe I'll put sparring gear. No, sparring gear. No. See, that's why I have the pinky. I actually got that stuck between a dude's toes. So forget the sparring gear. Let them break something. They remember it forever. Trust me. Everybody always says, "Why do you drink coffee like a Brit?" If you can see that, it kind of sticks out. Yeah. That's it. 7-3, y'all. Y'all take care. Hope to see you on the air.